there, my name is Kate Guillen, and I am the founder of Simplicity Ops. And here at Simplicity Ops, we believe that your CRM should be the operational hub of your practice. So that's exactly what we do. We partner with RIAs to build out that true operational hub, to help you guys cut down on all the external places that you're going to manage your business. So that you have a one-stop shop to be able to see what's going on in your practice, what your team's working on, upcoming client reviews, you name it, all right? In an effort to, get you kind of out of the weeds and spending more time doing what it is that you're best at, and that's building your business and serving your clients. And so what I want to show you today in this demo is how to go about building out that hub. And in the second part, I'll show you what a really beautiful, hub looks like. And then I'll share with you our solution. So with that, I'm going to share my screen with you all. And I'm going to roll through this and show you how to build out your hub. So ultimately, whether you do this yourself or it's something that you hire us to help you with, when you build out your hub, you do it in these 4 phases, okay? Starting with organization, then building out your hub, then building out a proactive service model and using your CRM as the vehicle for delivering it proactively. And then workflows and automations are how you deliver these services at scale. And I know workflows and automations are everybody's, favorite, most exciting topic, but you cannot, put the roof on the house, if you will, until the foundation is laid. So we need to go through this process, starting with organizing your contacts and educating your team on best practice on how to use the system before we can implement workflows effectively, okay? And so let me dive into each one of these 4 phases a little bit deeper and kind of explain here. What I mean by organization, this is looking at who are these contacts in your database and how should they be organized. So, in Redtail, it's called a status. In Wealthbox, it's called a type. But at the highest level, we assign a status or type to group contacts together so that you can run reports and find things efficiently, okay? And so you want to limit this list of statuses and types to 12 or less. And in our experience, when we get under the hood and we look at someone's database, these are the types of contacts in your database. They're clients, they're prospects, they're centers of influence, they're businesses, okay? And so again, I don't really care to be right or wrong here. I recognize that you might call these things something different. And so you're welcome to adapt this language to how you communicate internally in your office. But the logic is the same. You want to limit the amount of statuses and types that you have in your database so you don't run the risk of a contact possibly being 2. And you want to document them and organize them so that everybody on your team knows the protocol for how contacts are going to be organized. And once we've identified kind of what the highest level, how contacts should be organized, we can assign a category or a custom type, custom field, to further categorize and classify these contacts within their status, okay? So again, from a reporting standpoint, this is how you're able to get grouped together, your top tier clients, your bottom tier clients, just your hot prospects. You can see my list here. All right, so once we know how the database is going to be organized, we can get into educating the team on best practice for utilizing the CRM as that true operational hub. Implementing a contact management system. How do we, build out a family tree or a professional network? How do we use the CRM as our task management system to get out of Post-it notes and legal pads and centralize all of our open action items in a single place, linking them to contact records to build out that historical timeline and be able to see, what the team is working on and then pick up where somebody left off in the case of an absence. Same logic applies to your calendar, right? We want to be able to link our calendar with the CRM so that we're not managing our calendar in Outlook and our, client meetings in Redtail. Like it doesn't work. We need to sync those 2 together, again, to build out that historical timeline. So within the CRM, you can see not only action items, but also phone calls, meetings, appointments. And then same thing for your sales pipeline and your client accounts so that you can see in one centralized place new revenue opportunities and accounts linked to your client's contact records. All right. So now that we know how the database is to be organized and everybody knows how to use the system to manage, all of these core functions, we can get into the fun stuff. And that's identifying who it is that we serve across the top here, what are the services we provide, and the desired cadence or frequency at which we intend to provide them, okay? And so you can see here is my, hypothetical situation. We call them tier 1 through tier 4. Here's the qualifying, here's what qualifies these relationships. And, we also take into consideration some emotional components here. We call them the 3 A's. AUM, advocacy, and attitude, okay? So obviously AUM is a pretty black and white number. Are they an advocate for your business? Sure, they might have, less than 500 grand in their name, but they're a heck of a referral source. So we want to give them that white glove tier 1 service, even though, they might not meet the AUM threshold. That's what I mean by advocacy. And then attitude, are they a pleasure to work with? Do you really want to meet with them 3 times a year, 4 times a year, right? We want to take all of that into consideration when we are organizing and structuring, our book of business. And then kind of dream up here, like how frequently, are you checking in? Do they receive newsletters? Are they invited to client events? Do you acknowledge wedding anniversaries? All right. This is where, even on something as simple as a spreadsheet, you can document what you want this service experience to look like so that you can roll it out to the rest of the team and everybody knows your standard and how they fit into the picture. And then utilizing things like keywords to spell out the 12 months of the year that you meet with your clients and assigning those keywords to these contacts to indicate the month that you intend to meet with them so that we can create efficiency around, scheduling meetings with our clients and launching workflows to walk us through our client review process. But ultimately, in an effort to centralize, our client service responsibilities, building out your service model within your CRM is a massive time saver and a massive efficiency pickup. And then here we go into everybody's favorite, and that's workflows. That is how we deliver those services at scale. This is how we standardize our new client onboarding process. All right. We'll have an individual workflow for each different meeting that we have to take the team through how we prepare for an introductory call. What do we do like day of, during the meeting and post meeting to standardize, putting in action items and putting in our client notes and templating the way we manage this very repeatable process. All right. It creates consistency internally. It sets expectations, and now you have a standard operating procedure for the way, the firm manages these processes. It's a fantastic way of delegating responsibilities to the team, setting expectations, building confidence, and just giving that clarity that the team needs to do this effectively. All right. And then there's a whole lot of other repeatable things that we do on a day-to-day basis. And so we always say that anything that is repeatable is workflowable. And this is what we mean. All right. Things like opening new accounts and a client leaves or needs to update an address. All right. In an effort to not reinvent the wheel every single time we go to do one of these things, we need to have a workflow in place that is your standard operating procedure that, is assigned to someone on your team that gives them the checklist and the expectation for how to execute these various requests. And so workflows are not just limited to client management type responsibilities. There's other super repeatable things that we do, like these examples here, that you're going to want to have a checklist in place for, right? Like bringing a new employee on, right? Sending the offer letter, getting them set up in all of your systems, making sure their computer's hooked up to the printer. Like that whole process needs to be documented in a checklist, as a checklist in a workflow format and housed in a centralized place, and that is your CRM. All right. And so, I can explain to you a little bit about our solution here and how we do what we do, but we follow this exact same flow. You cannot effectively implement workflows until you've gone through the cleanup process, until you have, the team has a good understanding and feels like confident, capable CRM users. And we build out that service model in a proactive way of delivering your services in the CRM, and then we can get to workflows and automation. So that's exactly what we do. We follow that exact same flow. Across the top here, I'm using Redtail as my example, but this applies to Wealthbox too. By, syncing my calendar, getting my tasks into the CRM, centralizing my sales pipeline. Now, when I, sit down at my desk in the morning and I log into my CRM, I can see my calendar, upcoming appointments, what my team is working on. Okay. I can see my tasks. They've been prioritized. I know what I need to work on first, second, third, and fourth. They're all linked to a contact record so that now I can have a historical timeline of everything that has transpired in this, relationship with Monica over the last couple of years. All appointments, all phone calls, all action items, okay? I've got a tab open here for my workflows. The activity is my call to action. I need you to change a Benny, but the process for changing the Benny is the workflow. It's a checklist. It's a step-by-step instructions, exactly how to execute that request. And those live here, all right? I'm not going to my server to find a checklist, or I'm not going to my custodian to find out how to change a Benny. All of that lives here in one central place. All right, here's now my Rolodex. I got a list of all my contacts. I can, somebody calls in, let's say Jim calls in, I can very easily pull up Jim's contact record and get visibility to what we got going on with him. All right, I can see all of my open action items. I can see what my team's working on. I can see that I've got lunch coming up with him. And then from a business management standpoint, I've got my opportunities here. I've got new revenue opportunities listed here. Who's in my sales pipeline, new revenue opportunities for existing clients, because this lady's got a rollover in one centralized place. So often we see advisors managing their life in their email, text messages, direct messages, teams, spreadsheets for their pipeline, Post-it notes for you name it, okay? We want to, consolidate and centralize all of this to save you the time that it takes to have to prioritize your day over so many systems. This is the solution, and it works so well if you take the time to build it out.